Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. I don't get to say that very often in a live video. Let's see if anybody comes to play today. I know Saturdays are busy for people, so don't be shy. Say hello in the comments so I know you're here. I'm excited because this is going to be the first video in a series of videos. I'm not saying I'm going to do them every week, but we will have a playlist on our YouTube channel where you can go and revisit them. And it's going to be kind of like a how does this work series. Because I know a lot of customers see products and they think, oh, that's really cool, but how does it work? So I'm going to kind of break it down a little bit. Sometimes I'll show a little bit of my process, that kind of thing, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just going to give it just a minute so people can pop in and get comfortable, and then we'll get going. I see a couple people. I didn't expect a very big audience today. I didn't give a lot of notice, and I know Saturdays are very busy for people. So you'll always be able to watch this on replay, which is awesome. So it will live on our YouTube channel. And if you didn't know, we do have playlists on our YouTube channel for any kind of like reoccurring type of series that we run. I do like a Craft and Connect one. We have our old calendar pages and now called Moments and Memories pages. So like all the videos that we did for that are on the playlist. So these types of videos will be under the How Does This Work playlist. And this will be the first one that will be there. So, okay, so we're going to talk today about the Bitty strips. So this is a newer series of products from Tailored Expressions. It's a spin-off from their Simple Strips and their Mini Strips series. So whenever I have a grouping of products in my craft room, I like to kind of file them together so that when I want to go and get something from that collection, it's all in one place. So I will show you how I store these and what I do with that in just a minute. But what these are, they are sentiment strips, but they're smaller than their mini strips and their simple strips. Those tend to be like full phrases most of the time. These tend to be just like one word or a couple of words, shorter ones that you can either pair up with larger words or use completely on their own. And the cool thing about the system is that it is one stamp with a number of greetings on it, and then you get a die that cuts them all out in one pass. So this style of sentiment is one of my favorites. It is a great way to do batch sentiments. And when I say batch sentiments, I mean, for me, I like to get these out, do a bunch of sentiments, file them away. And then when I'm creating cards, I can just go to my bin and say, okay, I need a sentiment. Oh, here's one already done. And then I can use it. So I really like to do things that way. I know everybody's systems are different in their craft rooms. So I'm not by any means telling you this is how you have to do it, but it is a great way to do batches. And I've learned about myself that I have a couple of pet peeves in my craft room, which is weird because you shouldn't have that in your craft room. One of them is stopping what I'm doing and stamping out sentiments. I hate that. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I just don't like stopping. When the mojo is going, I just want to keep going. So I like when I can go to my bin and say, ooh, here's a sentiment that'll work, and I can plop it on. So I don't have to pull everything out and do that. So that is kind of what this system is about. The one of the original sets was the Essentials and the Everyday Occasions. So these two are bigger because they have 4 individual sets in them. And then they came out with the Bitty Strips Birthday Wishes and Lots of Love. And I just watched a video this morning over on the fan page of Tailored Expressions. They're coming out with a Halloween one too. And the other great thing about this is they're small. So you don't have to get like huge sets of sentiments for things that you might not use that often. And Halloween is one of those things. I mean, I like to have a few things in my craft room for Halloween. And I just, it's something you go to once a year and you might use 1 or 2 things and then you're done with it. So to have a smaller set, something like this for little 1-line Halloween sentiments is cool. So that will be coming out on Tuesday. So we'll be ordering those. But these are all of the ones that are in the Bitty Strip series right now. So we'll go through this in just a second. Now, before I get too far into this, I wanted to mention that we do have a promotion going on this weekend. I sent an email out this morning. Actually, I ended up sending out 2 emails because the first one, the link didn't work. And that was my fault because I was working on it late last night and I didn't check it. But the second one has the correct link. But we are giving away a free notebook with a $40 purchase this weekend. So this is the notebook. We do these gifts with gifts with purchase quite often, and they're very successful for us. Our customers really love them. We try to pick really practical things or really fun things to give away. And in this situation, if you've been following me for any length of time, you hear me often say, grab your notebook and join me for the live. Notebooks are, I mean, I know phones and, you know, all the digital stuff is really taken over, but for me, I'm still a paper girl. I like the notebooks. I like to see things in front of me. So for instance, in this video, you could make a note in here about Bitty strips. You could make notes about what I talk about. You could put the link to this video in your notes so that you can go back and reference it. Maybe not so much in this one, but maybe I give you color combinations or just some tip that really sticks with you. You can jot it down in your notebook and you can use this as a huge reference point when you are crafting, and even wish lists. Like, I know that's huge for people. This one is a cork cover. So it's actually cork. It's really cool. I bet you could even stamp on this. I haven't tried it. As you can see, mine is still blank. It's actually totally blank inside, but inside it's lined paper. So it's all lined, ready for you to jot your notes down in. And you could even have several of these with, you know, headings on the outside that help you stay organized in your craft room, which is so good. And then in here, there's also a little, let me get it open to the right page. There's a little piece of ribbon that you can put down and like mark your page in there too. So we're excited to be able to give this away this weekend because, again, I say it all the time. Grab your notebook, join the live stream. We'll see you soon. And I just thought it would be kind of fun to give away a notebook. So you can pop on over to our Facebook page. I did do a post there. There is a link in that post that takes you to the email. If you do get our emails, you can check your inbox. The email's in there. Promotion runs today and tomorrow. And you just have to spend $40 and you get it for free. Okay, so that's that. So let's get back to this. So here's the deal. Let's talk about how I store these. So whenever I have a system or a series of products that go together, I like to store them together. And this is called a stash stack. And I don't know if you can really even see that title on there very well, but it's kind of embedded in there. It's called a stash stack, and they are from Spellbinders. So this is the 8.5 by 11, 1-inch depth. This isn't a big system, so I don't need a super thick one. Oh, I see a question. Do you still earn points on the purchase as well? You sure do. You earn reward points on almost everything. There are a few exceptions, and there is a link on our website. I think it's across the toolbar. If it's not across the toolbar, it's at the bottom of the page that tells you all about our rewards program. So yes, you still earn rewards on your purchase. So this is what I store my simple strips, mini strips, and bitty strips in. My mini strips, I have a thicker one. It's I think a 2.5-inch deep one because I have quite a few of the mini strips. So I love those. But the bitty strips is new, and I'm going to put it in the 1-inch container. So they will go in here. So I simply open this up. Let's just get this so I don't hit the camera. I throw these in here like so. Everything I need is in here. So when I want to use bitty strips, I go to my shelf, I grab this, I bring it over to my desk. Super easy. Now, I have not done a batch stamping set with this yet, but this is the day that I did it. So before I went live, I went ahead and stamped a bunch of my sets out, and I did some heat embossing. So now I have a bunch of sentiments. So let me just show you what I was working on. Here they are right here. So I just did black and white ones first. Those are my two most common colors that I tend to put on most cards. So black and white is a must for me. So I stamped black on white paper, and then I also did black with white heat embossing. So those I've started. I have a few more sheets that I still have to cut out. So here they are, the black ones. So I still have to cut these out, and I will add them to this tray here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort them out by set. And then what has to happen is I need a place to put them. So inside here is where I want to put them so that when I go to get this container, everything is there. But then I run into a problem. I can't just throw the sentiments in here. So you can get little Ziploc bags or whatever you want to do. But I kind of have like a system going throughout my craft room that I use storage pockets to store some stamps and dies, sentiments, all kinds of things. So you've seen me use the, let me grab a set here. I've got the basket right behind me. You've seen me use this system a few times, and I love it. I have this for a lot of sentiments that are themed, like thank you, birthday, anniversary, wedding, like all those kinds of things. Oh, hey, everyone. I see people are still popping in. Hello, hello. And I do love it, but this is a system. So I want to put this in one place. So I do have this set aside here. Let me just pull over my, where did I put them? Right here. Okay, so these are the pockets that I'm going to use for this particular system. So the biggest set won't fit in the Altenew ones that I had set aside. So it's going to go in one of these little pockets, storage pockets from Spellbinders. These are called the large storage pouch. You get 10 in a package, and there is a 3/4 inch gusset on these packets as well. So the bottom does open up and get a little bit wider, which is kind of cool. But look, the stamp set fits perfectly inside here. Okay, and so then once I sort these sentiments out, I'm going to throw them in this envelope with the stamp set. So when I come to this bin and I go looking and saying, okay, you know, I want that Let It Snow. Well, they're all going to be right in here. I don't have to search through my whole container to try to find the Let It Snow ones, but they're going to be in here. And then for the smaller ones, I could use the same pockets if I wanted to, but I also have little pockets from Altenew. And these ones are the 4.5 by 6, and you get 10 of them in a package. And again, they fit these smaller ones perfectly. So I'll just pop them in there, and then I can throw the sentiments in the pocket, close up the little thing, and I'm set. So, and then these will live in this bin. And I'll use the same size little envelope there for the smaller sets as well. So these will all go in the pockets in here. And then I do have 2 dies. Now, because these are larger dies, they're not small, tiny ones, I'm just going to throw them in here. This actually, container actually latches shut. So once it's closed, those dies aren't going to go anywhere. I can just leave them in there and they'll be fine. If you want to put them on a magnetic sheet, you can, but I just think that's kind of a waste of a magnetic sheet. So I'm just going to throw them in there. And like I said before, when I'm ready to use bitty sentiments or I want to look through, I just grab this container, bring it over to my desk, rummage through it. If I decide that I need to stamp out a few more because I don't have the color I want or whatever, I can throw any extras back in this bin, and then back on the shelf it goes. And these stack beautifully. I have a number of them in my craft room. I have a whole wall of shelves, and that's where everything goes. And I just put like a label on the side here that I can read when I'm looking at my stack of stash stacks, and then I can pull out the one that I want, and it's really easy to put back. For me, things have to be quick and easy in my craft room. Like I said, I don't like to spend a lot of time fussing with things, so I just want it to be fast, quick, easy, done. The tray I'm using here, these are the craft stacks that I talked about in yesterday's live. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think the day before. We just got new sizes, and these are great while I'm working on projects and things. It helps me keep things organized. It's easy to work with. And if for some reason I didn't get this finished today, I could put these sentiments inside here, put the lid on, and then I can pull it out and continue on organizing later. So I really like that. So I wanted to share that process with you. But as far as storage pockets go, I think that the three I really like for this type of thing would be the Spellbinders, large storage pouch and large storage tabs. They work really well together. And then the Altenew pockets are amazing. They come in lots of different sizes. So I've got the 4.5 by 6 here. I've got the 6.5 by 8.5 here, but there's bigger ones too. I think we just ordered the 9 by 11.5 again. So that is going to be coming in. And then the other ones I really like too are Hero Arts ones. So these are also really fun. These ones come with magnets or without. This set here is without envelopes, magnets. So these ones are the small, and they are 4 by 5 inch envelopes. And then this one is the regular size, and they are 5 by 7 envelopes. And there is one size larger than this as well. So, yeah, they're all really great products. So no matter which ones you pick, they work great. I use all of them in my craft room, some of them for different things. So mixing and matching isn't a bad thing either. So that is kind of how I store them and my philosophy behind them. And now I want to show you how you actually use them. So let's pull them back out of my stash sack here and let's get down to business. So just get this out. And I am going to just show you how I would do some batch stamping. Obviously, you can use one of the stamp sets at a time. So if you're not a person who likes to do any batches, you can just, pick and choose whichever ones you want. The smaller sets have 2 of them on the back. And then the larger sets, got these all tucked away now. The larger sets have 4. Okay. So there are lots and lots of strips to choose from. So this one is the essentials. So you've got sort of a birthday one, like a love one, a Christmas one, and then sort of a thanks one. That all comes on one. And then the everyday occasions, that has, again, it's a real mix. So happy birthday to you, welcome, congrats, thank you, get well soon. And then these ones are like for smile, for you, shine on, made with love. Over here, you've got yippee, woohoo, surprise. And then you've got hey, hello, with love, just a note. So a real variety of things. And then these ones are a little more specific. So these ones are the Bitty Strips birthday wishes. So obviously that's going to be all birthday. And this one is the lots of love. So again, love related. So good for anniversaries and things like that. Weddings, etc. And like I mentioned, the Halloween one is coming. And I'm sure they'll keep adding on to this system as well until they get, a wide variety of them, and then they'll be good to go. So with my Misty, now I've already done black and white sentiments. So what I'm going to do is some colored ones. So again, batch stamping in color, it can be a little trickier because how do you know what color you need? But I do know myself, and I do know the cardstock colors that I go to a lot in my craft room. I know teal is a color that I use frequently. And so to do a few stamped out in teal would be good. And then I also thought with the Christmas ones, because Christmas is coming, I thought I might do some red and green, because I think those are colors I might use as well. What is Natalie saying? The Gina K ones work for my purposes, even though they are a bit thinner. Oh yeah. Any kind of pockets, whatever your favorite brand is or whatever, totally gravitate those. You can still implement a similar system for yourself using whatever pockets or containers work best for you. I'm just kind of sharing what I use. Some people don't have a system, and they might get some ideas knowing, hey, that works for her. I'm going to give that a try. Because everyone's craft room is different. What works for me might not work for you. You might be the kind of person that likes everything behind closed doors, so your room looks neat and tidy and Pinterest worthy. I'm not that person. My room, I need to see things. I need bins to root through, and for me, it has to be quick, fast, easy to put away, that kind of thing. That's just kind of what works for me, but whatever works. Okay, so that being said, we'll start with the Christmas one. Which one is that on? That's on this one. So the Bitty Strips Essentials, I'm going to grab that Christmas one. So here it is. And we're just going to do that one. And we're going to do some with red and some with green. So this is, because they're small, this is cool because you can use up scraps. Like you don't need much paper in order to do that. Now I know that sometimes I like to use this sort of lime green color at Christmas, and then sometimes I like to use a more traditional color. So I'm going to do some with this lime. I just found this little scrap, and I'm going to stamp with black on this one. I don't mind having that. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up. And with the Bitty Strips, it doesn't matter if the stamp is straight or crooked because you're going to die cut it out anyways. So that part doesn't matter too much. Okay, so there we go. And it is crooked. That might have been why I said it. I'm just going to clean this stamp off quickly so that it can air dry while we're doing something else. So once you have that stamped, you can see how it stamped all of the greetings at one time. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my die cut machine. Now I have just recently added the Anna Griffin Empress to my craft room. Guys, game changer. So I'm working right on my cutting plates and my cutting mat here. I'm going to take the die. I'm going to place that right over top and line it up. Now this magnetic mat that comes with my plates is amazing. You don't need tape. It's perfect. You put it where you want it. You just put the lid on, and I'm just going to run this through my machine, which is just off to the side here. So it's nice and close. And I'm just going to run it through. If anybody is wanting a demo on that, just shout out in the comments. I'm happy to bring it onto the screen, but if you don't care much. Now, I will say I just stamped this. I don't know if you can see it, but on there you can see that faint words. You want to wipe that off because that's ink that hasn't dried. And if you don't, the next time you run that through, it's going to transfer onto your paper. So then you just pop that out, and now you have all of these sentiments ready to go. They're just short little one-liners, and they're perfect. So that is the green ones. I'm just going to add them to my little tray over here. And then we're going to do the same thing with a piece of red. So I got this really dark red. Now this one might be better to do with white. So I'm going to do some heat embossing with that. So let's just slide this over here for now. We'll bring the Misty back on. Now this, if I position this properly, I can get a couple of them. So I'm just going to turn it sideways because I've already got the stamp out and I'm already going to be doing the embossing. So I may as well do two of them because then they're ready to go and they're in my stash. This is what I'm talking about, this whole batch stamping thing. It's way faster to take the time to do a little bit of it now. So I'm just adding some anti-static powder. I use the Tailored Expressions powder tool. We also have one from Pink and Maine. Great, great investment. I'm going to use some embossing ink, and I'm just going to ink up this stamp. And I'm going to stamp it down. And then I'm going to quickly flip my paper, being careful not to smudge that ink. I'm just going to add a little more powder because I just put my finger right in the middle of that. And then we're going to do this again. Like so. And then we're going to do some heat embossing. So when I do my heat embossing, I like to have my white and black embossing powder in a little container. And this is super handy so that I can just take a little scoop. And I use one of these little triangle things. And I just scoop the embossing powder on here. And then there's no cleanup really. Okay, so I'm just going to flick some of that off. So there we go. We've got our embossing powder on there. And I have my heat tool out. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to do the heat tool. Well, maybe my cord will reach. Okay, here we go. Let me get my little clipboard because I don't want to burn my hand. Okay. So now I'm just going to heat and emboss this. Okay, so Patricia would love to see the cutting. I don't know if the plates work in another machine at all. I've never tried. But I will bring my machine on towards the end and I will show you. So when I'm making Christmas cards, I'm going to be so happy that I did this. I will be thinking, oh my gosh, thank goodness I have those ready, because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm trying to make Christmas cards and it's December, because I never get them done ahead of time, and then you have to pull out all your embossing stuff, I don't know, it's just not fun for me. But this is going to be good. I don't mind doing it now because I'm not stressed. I'm just, you know, kind of doing my thing and sharing it with you. Okay, so there's my little die on there. And now I'm just going to run this through. Well, here, I can pull this over. Okay, so here is, so we have in stock the Empress Elite Mini. I might have to zoom out a little bit here. Just let's see if I can zoom out. Okay, there we go. Well, that's as far as I can zoom out. So this is the machine. It is amazing. It has like a little swivel base that comes with it. But when you put it on, so on the bottom, there's like a little circle thing. That's what I'm going to nest it into. When you put it on, it doesn't spin freely. Like, it's still pretty locked in there. But if you move it, it does turn. The great thing about that is that while you're, you know, trying to feed your plates and stuff in here, you don't want it spinning all over the place and you're trying to get them in there. So it's planted in place, but it does move easy for you to spin it around if you need to. Mine sits at the side of my desk, and most times I don't have to spin it, but every once in a while I've got something in front of it or behind it, and I just have to kind of spin it out of the way a little bit so that the plates can run through, because they go from the front and then out the back. So you need clearance on both sides. So let's turn it off. So when you're using this, it's electronic. So wow is all I can say. It's pretty great. Again, like I said, I've discovered a few pet peeves in my craft room. One of them is cranking stuff through the die cut machine. Again, I'm doing this batch stamping. If I had to crank all the sentiments through, I just know I don't do it as often. But the fact that I can just put them on here, I don't have to use any tape or anything to hold the dies in place. You literally just set the die on, put your plate on top, and run it through. So if I take this off and tip this and kind of shake it, like, it's not going anywhere. It's staying exactly where I put it. So I find too, sometimes getting your dies lined up is a little bit tricky. So take your time and just, well, I'll show you that part in a minute. Let's run this through so I can get it done. But you just, you know, get your die where you want it. It's planted very well on the magnetic sheet, but you can like nudge it around a little bit so that you get it exactly in the right spot. You put your top plate on, and I'll talk about the plate sandwich in a minute. You turn the machine on. The motor's not running until you push this button to go forward. So you line up your plates, you push it in until it just doesn't go any further. And then you can see like on either side that it's lined up properly. Then you push the button and it's going to pull it through. And it just comes right out the other side. It's very quiet. It's very smooth. Now you're not cutting into the clear plates. So you're not getting all that cracking and snapping, and you're also not getting any warping. Look at how straight my plates are. Like, it is a dream. So you take your plate off, you lift off your die, and you pop out your sentiments. It's that easy. So I I'm really, really impressed with the die cut machine. And we have been surprisingly selling a lot of them. I've already put in a second order, and I'm watching closely because I'm probably going to have to put in a third one right away. I know the holidays are coming and people are going to want these. So, we want to keep them in stock. We now have the magnetic replacement mats and the clear plate replacement packs in stock. The mats come 2 in a pack and the plates come 2 in a pack. People are saying, well, how often am I going to have to replace my mat? Well, I don't know that, because first of all, I've just started using the machine. I'm told they last quite a long time. Also, it depends how much die cutting you do. You might go through a mat much faster than I do because you do more die cutting than I do. So it just depends on how much you do. But I am having such good success with it. It's just amazing. So I'm really loving it. I love the fact that I just push a button and it just goes right through. So doing this kind of batch stamping and die cutting is really easy. And I don't color a lot live, but when I do coloring, you spend a lot of time coloring your images, and then you put the die on and you put the tape on, and then you run it through. And then when you're peeling that tape off, it rips a little bit, or the die shifts a little bit when you go through, and it messes up your image. I'm not saying that those things can't happen with this, but the percentage goes way down, like way down. And they are long plates too. So you can get a lot of stuff on here, and line it all up and send it through. So it's pretty awesome. I have nothing but great things to say about it. My mom invested in one just this week, and she was using it yesterday for the first time, and she messaged me and she goes, "This machine is amazing." And I said, "I told you, Mom." So she's loving it. I know it's on Shelby's wish list too. I just sent her information about it yesterday. So I'm sure that one will go home with her soon too. I'm loving it. So if you have any questions about it, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, that's not what this video is about. But anyways, so that is the red ones done. So fast, easy, quick, fun. And now I'm going to add the red ones to my my little tray here. And then there is also a backer die. So this is the die that you use to cut out the sentiments. This is a backer die. So it's slightly larger than this one. So if you want to add a shadow to your sentiments, and I have some here from another project I was working on. Is this the right one? Yes. So if you want to add no, that's not the right size. It's this one. A shadow die. Nope, that's not it either. I just threw these in here. Let's see if I can find one that matches. There we go. Nope. Here. Okay, there we go. So you can cut that shadow die out of a different color, and then you can layer it behind to give you a backer. So it's pretty fun. I like how simple and easy the bitty strips are. I like how you can quickly do some batch stamping and stash it away for future crafting, which is definitely in my wheelhouse. I love that option. And then again, storage of it is pretty easy. And yeah, that's how it works. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask about the bitty strips or anything else we talked about? I see there's some comments here. Patricia Sparks says Christmas list for sure. Christina, oh yes, Christina. Christina is eyeing up this machine as well. She just popped in. Yes, you can watch from the beginning later. And Sharon, my Christmas present to me also. Wonderful. If you are thinking Christmas presents and you happen to be buying them for yourself, don't wait until Christmas, because I've been doing this for a really long time. As much as we try to prepare ahead, I don't want to be left with a lot of overstock in January. So we order, but things sell fast, and oftentimes manufacturers will sell out of products as well. So, come December, their inventory might be getting low, and we might have trouble getting them in right around Christmas time. So we're going to be watching that and trying to keep up with the demand. But again, if it's a Christmas present to you from you. Don't wait too long. Karen, I like the way you store these. I might have to look at that. Yeah, well, and again, I try to share, kind of what works for me. At no time am I ever saying this is the way you have to do this. I'm just sort of sharing my ideas, and it might just, spark you and go, huh, I never really thought about that. I think that's a really good way. I think that would work for me. So I do like sharing my ideas, and I also like hearing your ideas. Oh, Patricia says her birthday's in October. Woohoo! Well, you should be fine. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you guys too long. It's just a short, quick video on how this works. And yeah, I hope to do lots more of these because if I don't have to create projects for everything, sometimes I will have inspiration available from Amanda and Christina. But sometimes I'm just going to come on and kind of show you the basics of how a product works and go from there. Oftentimes, there is lots of inspiration out there already by the design teams from different card making companies and things like that. I can always bring slides on to show you those types of things. But yeah, I just think that this kind of thing is something that people really enjoy and they like to see how things work. So that's it for me today. And I will see you again soon.